They handed me a paper cup of scorched coffee and told me to smile. I didn't. Not because I couldn't, because I no longer had to. She smoothed down her blouse, chasing invisible creases, and leaned in with a brittle whisper. "Don't embarrass us today, please." That same rehearsed smile she used at dinner parties. I said nothing. Just watched her brother pose under the Navy SEAL graduation banner, polished and perfect in his dress whites. Her parents hovered behind him like royalty, beaming with smugness, their eyes slicing me down to nothing, just a stray dog they allowed near the family table. A dropout, her father often called me, a story they told and retold until it became family legend. He probably didn't even make it through basic, he'd say, half laughing, loud enough for the whole table to hear. I let them talk, let them believe it. Until now, I stood at the back, uninvited and unseen, until the general arrived. For stars on his shoulder, every step like thunder in the room. Everyone stood. Her brother saluted with a hand that shook. The general returned it. But then he stopped. His gaze slid past the boy, through the crowd, and locked onto me. Everything froze. Then a single word hit like a bullet. "Colonel." Time split in two. Heads turned. Mouths parted. My wife blinked once, twice. Her father's jaw didn't drop. It collapsed. And I stood there, sipping burnt coffee, watching their world fracture. It hadn't started today. It began months back, a muffled voice through a locked bathroom door. Hers. Soft, secretive, and not speaking to me. I didn't explode. Didn't even flinch. I started gathering. Messages that didn't belong. Perfume I'd never smelled. Trips to see her mother. Her brother. Suddenly cold again, doubling down on the Navy narrative. Then one night, in front of her father, she called me a washed-up soldier. And when I didn't react, she seemed almost disappointed, because I already knew it wasn't just about infidelity. It was the manipulation, the rewriting. They hadn't simply hidden my story. They'd replaced it. Her brother, the one who once begged me to help him prep for BUD/S. I trained him. Quietly, thoroughly. He said I was too serious, that I didn't look like an officer. Then told their father I'd never served. And now he wore the insignia he didn't earn. Stood in the uniform I made honorable. And she stood beside him like that was normal. Like I was just a discarded ghost. But they forgot who they were playing with. I kept quiet, just like I'd been trained. I didn't go public. I pulled my full service record, the version that didn't exist in the public database. Black Ops, intelligence, deployment scrubbed from logs, photos with men now buried in unmarked graves, commendations signed by the same man who walked into that room today. I didn't ask the general to be there. I just made sure he knew I would. She told me to wear something nice, to behave, said her brother deserved his moment. And each time her father mocked me, I smiled, through the heat, through the hurt, because vengeance isn't rushed. It's built. When the general said my name, oxygen vanished. My title hung in the air like judgment. He moved toward me, hand extended. "Didn't expect to see you. Last I heard, Eastern Europe." I nodded. He glanced at her brother. "This one yours?" I looked at the boy. He tried to be. The silence cracked. Whispers. Shifts in posture. Her brother's mouth opened. No words came out. Her father stepped back, as if trying to outrun the truth. I handed the general a folder. Inside, transcripts, training outlines, my initials, all of it tied to her brother's prep. All of it stolen. All of it time-stamped. I never needed credit. I said, my voice like frost. But I won't let someone wear what they didn't earn. The general's face hardened. Her brother stammered, "I didn't lie. Dad said it would help me get in." "Enough!" The general snapped. The folder hit the floor like a gavel. I turned to my wife. Her expression cracked. "You knew." Her voice came small. I didn't mean to. You let them drag me for years." Tears welled. I didn't flinch. "I fixed your brother's mess, built a success, and you let them call me a fraud. I was scared you'd leave. You were so cold. I leaned closer. My words cut. No, I was watching, measuring, learning how deep you'd go. I slid my wedding ring off, dropped it into her father's drink. He recoiled. You didn't want a man. You wanted a puppet, not a soldier, not a killer. Then to the general, I said, your decision. But if he wore that trident under false pretenses, you know what needs to happen. The general didn't blink. I do. As I walked out, she grabbed at my sleeve. Please don't do this. I didn't turn. You already did. Outside, the sky was clean and cold. No clapping. No cameras. Just quiet. The kind earned when truth does its work. I lit a cigarette for the first time in years. Let it burn slow. Honest. I thought about the years I gave up inside that house. How I'd shrunk myself to fit their lie. They wore masks. I wore silence. But silence, when used right, speaks louder than any scream. She lied to protect a fraud. He wore stripes he didn't earn. Her father laughed because he thought I'd forgotten who I was. They all remembered today. I walked off base alone. No words, just one truth. When the truth wears your uniform, you never need to raise your voice.